Hey, hey, hey. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of the race season from your guys at Five Lug Racing. With you, as always, my name is Don, my partner in crime, Ryan. We are here breaking down championship weekend. So much to talk about and cover from our three new title holders in the NASCAR Top 3 Series, Ryan. Phoenix put on a heck of a show. A lot to get to with that. Of course, I just want to take a second and thank every single fan, follower, subscriber, everybody that has made this possible for us to do what we do for you guys. Thank you. And don't go away because we're not going anywhere either. We're going to bring you more episodes during the off season. We'll be right back when Speed Weeks get kicked off next year in February. Do not go anywhere. Stay tuned to our channel. We appreciate you guys so much. Can't do it without every last single one of y'all. Thank you. Ryan, of course, we want to shout out our incredible sponsor, KK's Diecast Community on Facebook. Always doing wonderful things over there. If you haven't checked out their page yet, hop on there, check it out. You know, he does all sorts of card breaks for you card collectors out there. He's got endless supplies of diecast for you guys to choose from. This week, of course, we're doing our diecast of the week again. It's celebrating a couple of our new champions. Jesse Love and Kyle Larson will both have a diecast to choose from, and he'll do a silent auction on it. You can jump on there, go bid on them, get you a diecast for a really good price. I know we got a lot of Jesse Love and Kyle Larson fans out there, so get on there, check it out, enjoy. Kevin and your entire community, of course, we have to and want to thank you for everything you've done for us. Without your partnership, bud, we couldn't be here doing what we do, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Ryan, championship weekend, NASCAR 2025. The season is over. I can't believe it. It felt like we just started yesterday. Now we're crowning new champions. We're doing our last breakdown of the season. It's great to see you, bud. Let's talk a little bit of racing, man.
Oh, well, it's great to see you as well. It was an eventful championship weekend at Phoenix Raceway. And, we had an exciting finish to the race. Dare I say, all three of them had exciting finishes and outcomes. I mean, we got to start with Friday night in the Truck Series. What a show the Truck Series put on. And the championship for, really flex some muscle as far as three of them had a really good truck. Tyler Ankrum and his 18 team, they were a miss. Something was just missing for those guys. Too little, too late finding out what was going on with that truck to make it faster. And nonetheless, in their season, on a high note, fourth in points. Obviously not what they wanted, but they'll come back next year and try again. When we look at the other contenders that were part of the championship four, you had Ty Majeski in the mix. Last year's defending series champion, showed up at Phoenix with a very fast truck. In practice, he was really fast. He led the pace, and then you also had the underdog, Caden Honeycutt, with a super fast 52 truck. And, it's no surprise who ended up being the champion, but he had to earn it. Had to work for it there with the
Yeah.
late race cautions and seven wide, pass, to get himself in position passing all those trucks. That's the one cool thing about Phoenix is the aprons end up becoming part of the racing groove, and it gets really, really rough down there. But those trucks and cars seem to figure out a way to make it work. And when it was go time and everything on the line, you saw Corey Heim make a new lane around that racetrack like I've never seen before, almost rubbing the inside wall. And just that seven wide pass is just wow. Puts himself in position to get up and wrestle for that first place spot, and ends up winning the race, winning the championship. Congratulations, Corey Heim. on a well-deserved championship. Absolute dominant stuff this year from him and his entire number 11 Tricon team. Tricon Garage is, the flagship Toyota team. And some can argue that Stuart Friesen's team, showed up and flexed their muscle as well, as far as their Toyota was very stout. Caden Honeycutt, was there. They knew he was there, and he was certainly in contention for his first career win, which would have led him to a championship. Just a wild, wild end of the season for Caden Honeycutt, going through multiple teams to get to that path. It was just a remarkable season for them as well. Nothing to hang their head on. And Ty Majeski, showing up at when it mattered. He went winless this year, but for a while I thought, oh man, it's been a year since he's won, but could he get another win tonight and be a champion? Just the way it shook out. Corey Heim had a dominant truck, and he flexed all that muscle right at the end. And again, Corey Heim, the 2025 Craftsman Truck Series champion. Congratulations to all of them there.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we were all pretty much expecting it. Obviously, anything can happen in the course of a race weekend. You never know what's going to be thrown at you. But the 11 team as a whole has just been prepared for every single little thing that has been thrown their way. They have handled it. They have dominated. They're the champions. Nobody can ever take that away from the 11 truck, the 11 team, and Tricon Garage. I do want to send out another congratulations to Tricon and the 17 team. Gio Ruggiero getting himself the Rookie of the Year nod. That's really awesome. Tricon just really putting out some incredible talent, and really look forward to seeing how his career continues to progress as he moves forward, past 2025. So congratulations to Gio. Congratulations to Corey Heim. Congratulations to Tricon. And congratulations to the Truck Series. They really did put on an awesome show. Ryan, you mentioned that 7-wide pass, man. I didn't think it was going to work. I didn't think it was going to work. I thought somebody was going to get sideways out of it, but they all held it together. Ended up being a heck of a move for Corey. Beautiful, beautiful way to wrap up the 2025 season with basically a Hail Mary pass, even though it wasn't a Hail Mary. When you have one of the strongest drivers and trucks making the move, it's a little less of a Hail Mary and almost a sure thing. So yeah, congratulations to the Truck Series and all you drivers, every single one that put their heart and souls out there on the racetrack for us fans to enjoy. You guys are the real heroes, and we appreciate y'all. So yeah, awesome 2025 truck season. Corey Heim, the Heim time lives on, and we get to see where his career heads heading to 2026. But Xfinity Series, we got a championship 4 that we got to talk about there. Obviously we had the likes of Connor Zilisch, Jesse Love, Justin Allgaier, and Carson Kvapil going for a championship there. Ryan, what are your thoughts on how the Xfinity race played out?
Well, I mean, that race was exciting, and it too was very action packed. I thought that there was good maneuverability throughout the field. The ability to pass and all that stuff. The race did not disappoint. Um, as far as how it shook out, and we saw early on in this race, it really was the tale of 3 stages in some ways. Early on, I thought, man, the 7 car and Justin Allgaier, defending series champion. The last time we could say this is they were fast as Xfinity Mobile. They really had a fast truck to open up stage 1. I don't know if they got behind on the adjustments or if just the track changes and their car didn't mesh well as the race progressed, because they seemed to lose some pace to the other championship 4 contenders. Carson Kvapil, hats off to the rookie. Carson, ended up earning himself a full-time ride next year with Junior Motorsports with, getting the sponsorship funding. We know how important it is to get funded to go do this. And, he needed to secure that in order to get full-time with Junior Motorsports next year. They did. They made that announcement this past week. Congratulations to them. Finished their season 4th in points. Next year, he gets to chase that elusive win from his rookie season. I don't think they have anything to hang their head on, coming in fourth, when really you could say they exceeded expectations this year.
Yeah.
And then we go to Connor Zilisch. We have to talk about Connor and the 88 team. We talk about exceeding expectations. I mean, when you have a rookie season like Connor Zilisch has had, one for the ages, you could say he far exceeded those expectations. Remarkable year. And, he's about to set off and do great things in the Cup Series. His career is just getting started. And disappointment for sure for him and the 88 team coming up short on a championship. But they really can't hang their hat when you look at the body of work that they put in this season. And all the things that they had to overcome just to be in a position to be in this race. The two injuries, on top of that drama alone, Don, is just being able to overcome that, miss minor amounts of time with the injuries that he suffered, and both the Talladega crash early in the year and then the freak victory lane accident. Just remarkable. It shows the resilience of this kid,
Yeah.
and he's just getting started. You know, the car itself on Saturday night just didn't have what it needed to beat everybody in this field,
Right.
as far as the championship contenders go. He struggled a lot of the race, not just in the race, practice. We could rewind to practice. They just missed, and uh, it's reminiscent of when you had and we posted this on the Five Lug Racing Facebook and Instagram pages. Um, a David and Goliath situation in sports, and we think back to the undefeated New England Patriots, right? And they go through, have a remarkable 16-0 regular season in 2007, and then they win their two playoff games to get them into the Super Bowl. So at this point, they're 18-0, and they look invincible. And then here comes a wild card the New York Giants football team that finds a way to win and beat that New England Patriots team that looked unbeatable.
Yeah.
And everybody praises the coaching staff and the tenacity and grit of the players for finding a way to do it. Well, Saturday night after the Xfinity race, we've seen a lot of mixed emotions on your champion. I, for one, want to be the first to say congratulations, Jesse Love, and your entire number 2 RCR team. Not only did you show up to Phoenix and get the job done, but you came out here with a very, very fast number 2 RCR Chevy and tremendous long run pace. And oh, by the way, if he would be the New York Giants in this scenario, he had to go out and pass the New England Patriots to win this championship in Connor Zilisch late in this race.
Yeah.
So it couldn't set up any more with that parody of, an underdog story, maybe. But, Jesse Love was a guy who was up front in a majority of the races this year.
Right.
That team is no slouch. They're a contender. And you put them in a situation like this, folks, and they're going to make you work for it and let you know, hey, we're here too. And we got as equal a shot to win this as you do. And that's what they did. They
Yeah.
showed up and they handled business. And they really, they took it to them on the long run, all race long. That car was stout, with really great long run pace. And, Jesse Love is no slouch either. You can't forget he's an ARCA Series champion.
Right.
He opened the season with a win in Daytona. He bookends it with a win in Phoenix. What a season for them. And do the stats line up with what Zilisch did? No, they don't. But with the format we're provided, Jesse Love is your champion, and they went out and had to win the race to do it.
Yeah.
You can't take it away from them. They're your champion. And I understand how some can be upset with Zilisch not getting it, right? But that's not the system we live in right now. And some of the people that are really, really, really upset have that old system in mind,
Right.
with these old Busch Grand National Series point systems or these Winston Cup point systems that have been brought up so much this week.
Yeah.
But the average fan does not want to see a champion crowned 5 weeks ago.
Right.
And the sport itself needs that parity to keep people in suspense and tuning in. And that's why we have what we have now. I know reform is coming. I know change is coming. We're not at liberty to really discuss what the change is. We have a great idea of what it is, but again, we can't really talk about it yet because, I want to wait until I can dot the I and cross the T. But I'm pretty sure I know where this is going, and I like where it's going. I think most people will be okay with it too, because Don, we have to clear something right now before we even get into the cup race. The playoffs aren't going anywhere.
Right.
They're not. The playoffs are here to stay in some facet. Some facet, we're going to have playoffs because the sport needs parity.
Right.
But and it's not just the sport for the fan base. I think of the sponsors and what they gain out of being able to run for a championship.
Yeah.
The investments that these companies make into these race teams to support the sport we love, they want a fair and equal opportunity to go get it too. And that's really where we're at with this, So Jesse Love's your champion, folks, and I for one am happy for him. I think Jesse's a great guy. He has a bright future in NASCAR racing as well. Not going cup racing quite yet, but it's he gets a great. I think he's a great champion. He'll be a great champion for the sport this upcoming season. I really do.
Absolutely well said. Look, hats off to Jesse Love and the 2 team. They went out there, they took it. Okay. They had the opportunity to go be champions, and they went to Phoenix and said, all right, bet. And they left Phoenix with a giant O'Reilly championship trophy. Now, I know it's Xfinity, guys. I'm just but Jesse Love was only an Xfinity champion for all of 12 seconds because as soon as Xfinity season ended, it's switching to O'Reilly. So now it's going to be referred to as an O'Reilly champion. But either way, congratulations to the 2 team. Listen, you mentioned an interesting word, and it's a word that we've kind of hung on for about a year and a half since we started this, and it's the emotion of the sport. Okay. We've seen it from some of the crew guys that we've had the privilege of interviewing on our show, and the emotion that they feel when they're about to win a race or they're about to win a championship. Let's talk about Jesse Love about to win his first championship. He had to go past his best friend in all 8 billion people on this planet, and he had to go past his best friend in all of life to go win his first championship. That kind of stuff, you can't script it. I mean, it was beautiful to watch as a fan of racing, but I can't imagine what's going through Connor's head when he sees a red and white number 2 passing him and watching his championship that even though Connor's not the champion, I know his teammates, I know his family, I know Junior, they're all going to call him a champion because he had the heart of a champion this year. He never
absolutely.
He was slapped with a couple of injuries that some of us, I can tell you right now, if I dealt with a broken collarbone or what lower back pain like Connor was dealing with earlier this season, my butt would have been on the bed for 2 months. Like, let's just call it what it is. So he's an absolute beast. He's going to have a great, great career moving forward. He's already headed to a well-established team at Trackhouse. He's going to be just fine. Okay. Congratulations to Jesse Love, the 2 team, and everything that they have accomplished this season, this playoffs, and this championship race. Absolutely incredible. He's a well-deserved champion. Before we move into the Cup Series, Quite a bit to talk about here. Obviously, everybody, unless you're just tuning into our channel for the first time and have never watched a NASCAR race, everybody knows what happened Sunday night. Ryan, let's jump into a little bit and let's get our thoughts and opinions out there, bud.
Okay. Well,
this is a good one.
Listen, all right. So we're still digesting this ourselves. And first, I want to get out and say this. Congratulations, Kyle Larson. Congratulations to the entire 5 team at Hendrick Motorsports. You are the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series champions. Again, with the format that we've been provided, Kyle Larson's your champion.
Right.
There's no denying that. And you don't have to win the race. You just got to beat the other 3 competitors. They did that.
Yep.
It's absolutely heartbreaking, though, for, Denny Hamlin, because he led over 200 laps and he was on cruise control, riding into the sunset for his first NASCAR Cup Series championship.
Literally.
And a caution comes out and changes everything. And I want to give, a shout out to William Byron, because William Byron and his 24 car is what caused the caution to come out, with the tire going flat and getting into the wall. And William walks into the press conference, taps Denny on the shoulder, and apologizes to him. He didn't have to do that.
Right.
And I just think that speaks to the character of William Byron. And he knows that he played a part in Denny not winning a championship. And I think that eats at him, because he even said he beat us. And, we were beat. We were all, Kyle Larson even says, I was, I'm a friend of Denny Hamlin's, and I was excited to get out of the car and go congratulate him. And then the caution comes out and everything changed. So, it's a catch-22 and in many ways. And the race as a whole, Don, was really, really exciting.
Absolutely.
I think that, there was great action on the track. I believe that the tire wear played a significant factor in this race as a whole. And we have to talk about that. We need tire wear. I'm not going to sit here and be a hypocrite. I want tire wear.
Right.
I'm pretty sure you agree with me. You want tire wear,
Absolutely.
but we got to find that balance between tire wear and these tires completely blowing out. I think that as NASCAR and Goodyear and these teams work on that, I think it gets a little bit better. But, tire parity is important, because it allows these cars to come and go. And, as far as this race as a whole, though, and, look at all these Cup teams that were in the championship four, they all faced some sort of adversity throughout the event, and they had to persevere and overcome, except for the 24 with tires until the end. And that was like the irony of it, because you and I were texting and we're like, everybody's had tire issues, and you said everybody's had tire issues but the 24. And my reply was yet, in all caps. And oh man, I mean that was like in the, I don't know, halfway through stage 3, and then, man, with 3 laps to go, I wasn't expecting to see Byron have his first tire issue of the day. Then, just absolutely wild how it all played out, but the drama was nothing short of incredible. Let's talk about Chase Briscoe for a moment. Chase Briscoe had to deal with not 1 but 2 flat tires in this race. And after the first flat tire, he had a lot of chatter, and he said it was shaking, just wasn't handling right, and wasn't sure what it was because they didn't hit anything. And I I I wanted to just point out that the tenacity and grit that they had to drive through the field not once but twice and still put themselves in a position to win a championship
Yep.
is remarkable. And that 19 team, it's his first year there with Joe Gibbs Racing. Um, they can't hang their hat, and be glum about this. The way things played out, sure, I know that they would probably want it to be a little bit different, but at the same time, at the end of the day, they had just as good of a chance to win a championship as the other three drivers.
Absolutely.
Denny Hamlin, he had a flat. Lucky for him, it came out under caution. It came to notice under caution, and I believe it was Blaney that was riding behind him at the time and radioed in, yeah, you definitely got a rear tire going down. They're able to get it changed, and it took a little bit longer on a pit stop because the jack, you couldn't get the jack under it really well with the flat tire. But he lost some valuable track position. With that car was so good done, and he was just able to re-navigate through the traffic, and it was just impressive to see him flex his muscle. The 24 car was stout. William Byron had a piece. These championship four contenders, they were all there, and everybody knew it.
Yep.
Possibly the weakest link, though, is the one who ends up winning the championship. And Larson struggled with handling a majority of the day. He was up in the top 5 to 10 all day, but he too had a flat issue and didn't seem to rebound as well as Briscoe had. When Larson had his flat issue. Now Larson did lose a lap, eventually gets it back, and with the wave, and just still the championship efforts that all these teams had to put in order to position themselves. You have to give credit for not giving up, right? I mean, you get a flat like Briscoe had early, you think your race is over. You get a flat like Larson had, and you go a lap down. You have to take the wave around, get buried in track position. You think your race is over. It's just so many things that happen. All these nuances and throughout this race. It was just so exciting. It was nothing short of exciting, that's for sure, because you didn't know what was going to happen.
Right.
And the unpredictability was great. I don't think any of us would have called how it ended. And that strategy at the end was a mixed bag. You had cars staying out. You had cars taking 2 tires. You had cars taking 4 tires. And hindsight's 2020. I want to point that out because had Briscoe stayed out and not taken any tires, he might have won the race.
Yeah.
And been a champion or finished ahead of those other guys. Had Denny take 2 tires instead of 4, he likely is your champion. And hindsight's 2020. You can't play Monday morning crew chief when you have a scenario like this. You've got to be able to live and execute in that moment. And I feel like all the teams did their absolute best and what they thought was best, to try to go out and do that. And I mean, when you have 30 cars on the lead lap, 3 laps to go over NASCAR overtime, you're going to get that parity of all those other cars who have a right to go try to win that race too.
Right.
And that really played a factor. And oh, by the way, congratulations to Ryan Blaney and his 12 Penske racing team. Team Penske has absolutely got this fall race under lock. They
have to make some adjustments for next season, though.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to end our season next year in a different state, and so it's it is what it is, But I for one am looking forward to that. But yeah, Ryan Blaney, hats off to them. They missed this championship 4 by 1 point last week at Martinsville,
Yep.
and oh, how that's got to be a little bit bittersweet, but that didn't stop them from keeping their eyes on the prize. There was still a trophy to be won, and they
Yep.
went out and got it. And they had the pace all race long too. They used strategy, of course, to position themselves. What a great last corner pass on over Brad Keselowski to win the race.
Yeah.
Exciting photo finish, for sure. And like I said, just the whole race was action packed all the way through to that very last lap. And we had Ryan Blaney win the race. We had Kyle Larson win the championship. And that's it. That's all she wrote on this year, folks.
Yeah, yeah, great breakdown, Ryan. I want to mention a couple things myself before we wrap this one up. Uh,
Absolutely.
the 24 car of William Byron and the Hendrick Motorsports camp just brought a fast rocket for William to pilot. It didn't play out in his favor. He was strong until the end. Maybe pushed it a little bit too hard. Obviously, the tires just didn't hold up in his favor. Now, there's one thing I do want to clean up and I've been seeing a lot of these comments on social media about how they didn't need a caution for William Byron. I think they did need a caution. They needed to double check the wall, make sure it was good. Guys, these are all safety standards, okay? They're not trying to force any kind of drama or anything like that. And I saw a handful of people say things like William Byron didn't need to hit the wall. Guys, you're doing 160 miles an hour. You lose a right side tire. You can see the left tire cocked all the way to the left. Okay. There was no manufactured anything there. All right. Y'all got to pump the brakes on shooting from the hip with these takes, because a lot of them come off super silly and it's just not necessary. Okay. NASCAR needed to throw a caution, make sure there's no debris, make sure the wall is okay. He popped that wall really hard. Okay. Make sure the William Byron's okay. All the good stuff that comes with it. It's okay. It's just a caution, guys. It'll be okay. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk about the 19 a little bit. And real quick, hats off to the 24 team and their season. They had a magical season. They win at Iowa. They win at Martinsville. I mean, walk off. We're talking. I've never seen William Byron that laser focused when it comes to an entire race weekend, and he did it at Martinsville last week. Get your Daytona 500 champion, all that good stuff. Very successful season for the 24 camp. Chase Briscoe, another magical, just storybook season for that 19 team. Chase is absolutely revitalized. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and put my hot take out there. Pencil in the 19 team in the Final Four next year. I'm going to go ahead and put that out there, because what they showed us this year was they're here to contend, and they're here to not just in the playoffs. They're going for wins all year long, y'all. James Small, Chase Briscoe, and that 19 crew is the real deal. Okay? Would not be surprised to see him rattle off 5 more wins next year. Just going to go ahead and that'll be my hot take for the episode. We get to Kyle Larson. We get to Denny Hamlin. All right. My goodness. Congratulations, Kyle Larson. Congratulations to the entire 5 team and the Hendrick organization. Championships are earned. Championships are won. You guys went out there and did it. Okay. Congratulations to the 5 team. That was big time. You showed up when it mattered, and you got it done at the end of the race when you had the opportunity. Incredible championship win for you guys. Denny Hamlin. Ryan, we were talking during that last run. Denny Hamlin just clicking off laps. He had a 27-lap run to finish the race. Okay. You've got the Phoenix sun setting behind you for the most picturesque images you can see of the 11 car going in and out of turns, hitting his marks. He's a half a second faster than everybody else that entire run, just literally driving off into the championship sunset. Okay. And the only thing he didn't want to see in the entire universe was the only thing that happened, and it was that yellow wheel-in flashing light with 4 laps to go. And at that point, you got to tighten up. You got to tighten up. Your crew chief has to make decisions. Your pit crew has to show up when it matters most. And they did. They got 4 tires on that car. They got him back out. Now, unfortunately, everybody else took 2 tires. So You're going to spend an extra 4 to 5 seconds on pit road. You're going to lose a few spots, okay? The 11 team has no idea what every other team is doing as far as tires. Everybody jumps online and says, why'd you take 4 tires? Listen, the 4 tires is usually the call in this situation, because if your competitors are on 2 tires and the other 2 are wearing out as fast as they are, the odds tell you 4 tires is going to be your best option. Okay? They made the best decision at that moment that they could have made for their team to be successful. I do not fault them for taking 4 tires at the end of that race. Okay? Obviously, Monday morning crew chief, 2 tires is the call, but that still doesn't guarantee Denny Hamlin a championship. Anything can happen. Okay? Put 4 tires on it, give your driver the best opportunity and the strongest possibility. That's exactly what the 11 team did. It just didn't work out. And it was heartbreaking. Ryan, let's talk about the celebrations a little bit. Let's talk about the aura from what we could see Saturday night and Sunday night. It felt weird, right? Like it looked like everybody was just kind of lost. You know, you had the 2 teams celebrating. That was really cool. The 5 team was going crazy, but everybody, it just seemed like everybody was like, oh man, I don't know. You know, like this is a rough one to kind of, it took us a while. You know, you and I didn't text after the race for a little while because I think we were trying to process exactly what just took place to the 11 team, Denny Hamlin and his 20th try at a championship. I mean, it was just such a weird feeling all day on social media. It was super awkward as far as, you know, I didn't really know what to say I had people messaging me in my inbox. What'd you think of this? What'd you think of that? I didn't know what to say. It was weird. It was awkward. And, you know, you felt like Denny is supposed to be the champion, but Kyle won under the same exact rules. So Kyle Larson is your 2025 NASCAR champion, 2-time champion. Nobody gets to take that away from him. Congratulations again. But my goodness, Denny Hamlin's heartbreak when he got out of that race car. Shout out to Denny Hamlin. He immediately got out of his race car, went over and hugged every single one of his crew members and thanked them for a wonderful season. I can't imagine the dejection going through their minds and their hearts. And, you know, all these people, they're humans, Ryan.
Right.
They're going through it right now. They are going through something very, very, very emotional. I didn't see Denny Hamlin's actions detrimental episode pop up today, which we usually see on Monday. I think he might give this one a day or two to set in a little bit better before he can, you know, put it all into words for you know, his followers to enjoy. But I got to tell you, man, it was it was the strangest feeling it had felt since Joey Logano won last year in 2024, when he probably shouldn't have been in the playoffs after the round of 12. You know, we all know what happened there. He makes it through the next couple of rounds, gets to Phoenix, wins it just felt weird, Ryan. I don't know how else to put it, bro. I really don't. I thought about it all day long before we did this episode. I don't know how to describe how this feels. It just feels weird.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is part of what the nuance that's in it. Weird is a great way to describe it, though, because what looked like was going to be ended up not being, and you know, you got a guy in Kyle Larson who didn't win a race this entire postseason. He didn't lead a lap in the championship race, and he ends up being the champion. So yeah, it looks weird. But if you look at his body of work this entire season, statistically, aside from wins, he had a better year than Denny Hamlin.
Absolutely.
So you know, it's just it is just weird. And you know, and if we're going to do playoffs, then things like this can happen.
Right.
And it's just, I think, how it happened that made it feel that way. And honestly, I mean, there's points of this race where any one of them could have been the guy, or even coming into this race before they started the engines, we thought it could be any one of them. I mean, sure, we all had a pick 'em spotlight. We picked our favorite, and we gave all these reasons why it could have been every one of them in our preview show. Um, but when you actually watch the race and how it played out, you're like, whoa, you know, you can't help but feel for a guy
Right.
who looked like he had it and then he didn't. It's like that. It's like the worst tease ever. that's that's the best way. That's the best way to put it. And sure, it's dejecting, and you see that emotion because it's not just a job; it's their livelihoods. 38 weekends
Yep.
out of the year, they're on the road doing this. Taking they're yeah, they have you know working in motorsports is a privilege, and their job um, is really cool. It's a fun looking job, but it's still work,
Right.
and it's still dedication, and there's all this that goes into it. So, and it's not just that for Hamlin, but when you're at that cusp of the pinnacle, and then it just gets taken away from you, it's gonna hurt. And yeah, and I don't blame Denny for taking a little time to let the dust settle on this one and then speak his thoughts. And um, you know, I just hope that it doesn't keep him from coming back and trying again, because I still think Denny has a lot to offer to the sport of NASCAR, and you know, uh, not just as a driver, but even as an owner. But I think that Denny Hamlin is great for this sport, and I hope this isn't it for him, because he even made that comment that his fun meter was pegged, and that stinks to see. But I understand it all at the same time, and
Well, you see it
you
with
know,
professionals. They say when I can't contribute at a high level or I don't enjoy it anymore, that's when I'm going to hang it up. And Denny was quoted saying, I don't know if I want to get in a race car again." That's probably the first time he said that in his life.
right,
In his
right, and I think that was also said though in the heat of the moment, and
right,
people do tend to speak out of emotion. When they speak with emotion, they speak sometimes out of the wrong side of their mouth. But I just hope that we're not done seeing Denny Hamlin, because I really think that he's good for the sport. So, that being said, um, again, congratulations, Kyle Larson, and his team. They didn't quit fighting, and they got it done at the end. We have a couple other award winners we need to talk about real quickly. A couple rookie of the years. Officially can say that Connor Zilisch is the 2025 Xfinity Series Rookie of the Year.
awesome.
Um, just We spoke on it earlier when we talked about the Xfinity Series. A tremendous season that kid had, and there's no way it should have been anybody but him for Rookie of the Year honors. It's a not just a rookie season we may never see again, but a season we may never see again.
No joke. The
You,
fact that
you
he did
know,
that rookie season is absolutely bonkers, man.
right,
Congratulations, Connor. Thank you. Thank
right.
you and the 88 team for everything you did for the Xfinity Series this year, because it was an absolute privilege to watch you race the Xfinity Series.
Absolutely. And then we flip over to the truck series, and you already had said Gio Ruggiero. Congratulations to him and his Tricon team. They went out in Talladega. That might have really helped cement those Rookie of the Year honors for him. And then we move forward to the Cup Series, and we got none other than SVG. Wasn't going to be anybody but SVG after the season that he had. 12th in points, 5 wins. I don't care where the wins come. 5 career wins is more than 22% of the field that started the race on Sunday. So, in a career. So, that's remarkable. And Shane Van Gisbergen is just getting started here, folks. He's a gift from down under. The Kiwi from New Zealand is here for a while, and we got to enjoy it while we have him because he is a lightning rod for the sport. And I can't wait for the next road race to continue to see him work on his craft, but also in 2026 we get to see him versus his teammate Connor Zilisch, the Xfinity Rookie of the Year versus the Cup Rookie of the Year 2025, dicing it up on these road courses. Is going to be electric, folks.
What?
Really
Yeah,
look forward to that.
absolutely. What a privilege it is for Trackhouse to have those two guys under their same roof, because I know darn well every other team is looking at them like, man, we might have had like a less than 1% chance to knock Trackhouse off these road wins, but now we got to deal with Connor too. So
Yeah,
if y'all rewind back to COTA 2025, Connor was making his way through the field in that 87 Red Bull car. Unfortunately, got caught up in someone else's mess. We won't mention names there. Daniel Suarez gets loose. I believe it was 18 or 19, and Connor had nowhere to go in the smoke and just plows right into him. Or we're probably talking about a Connor Zilisch potential win there in the Cup Series in that early spring race. So, Connor's going to be just fine. Shane's going to have himself a heck of a 2026. I expect Shane to find himself a few more top tens in the oval category, because he was getting
right.
towards the end of the season, and it was starting to show. And Shane, just being a master of his craft, he's not going to give up on it. So keep your eyes on that 88 and that. And do we know Connor's number next year? Is it going to be 87, or is he taking Daniels? Do we know yet?
They have not made the official announcement yet, but I do believe it's going to be the 99. That's my guess based off of what I've heard. But I have not heard an official announcement yet, so do not hold me accountable to that.
Right on. Yeah, and no matter what, keep your eyes on the Trackhouse boys, because, oh, by the way, they still got Ross Chastain in the wings winning races. He can win road courses. He can win super speedways. He can win intermediates. And he's broken some hearts at short tracks a couple of years ago, if y'all remember Martinsville 22. So yeah, keep your eyes on Trackhouse. They're coming. They're coming in a hurry. So, yeah, man, Ryan, I don't know if you have anything else for this episode, but we covered a ton. Obviously, we were able to get some of our emotions out from the weekend that we really hadn't been able to express yet. And I just want to tell you how special it is to be able to do this with you, a friend, a brother. And, again, we're just getting started. This is the conclusion to our first full season together. We
I
are
know.
getting cooking, brother. And,
Yeah.
and here's going to be a lot of fun too. To everybody that made it to the end of this episode, thank you guys. I can't state it enough how much we appreciate everybody hanging in there with us. Like, subscribe, smash all the good stuff that comes with it. Go check out KK's Diecast community. All you race fans that love your sports cards and your diecast, make sure you're getting over there. Go like and follow his page. Show the love, spread it around, share it, all that good stuff. Ryan, our 2025 NASCAR season is coming to an end. Wouldn't want to be doing it with anybody else. I know we got a couple more episodes lined up for the rest of the year. We'll get to that later on, of course. But thank you, Ryan, for everything you do for Five Lug Racing and everything you do for me. But I appreciate you. But thank you.
And ditto. It's a great partnership we have here, and glad to we have KK Diecast coming back for 2026 with us. And Kevin Keeling, has not only been a great partner of ours, but is also becoming a friend. And it's just it's a great thing. And we thank again. Don said it, but I'm going to say it too. Thank you all for tuning in. For following us on Instagram and Facebook, and we're looking to expand. We're looking to do more fun things in 2026 and continue to bring you that insider stuff that y'all are seeking and we are wanting to bring to you. So I can't wait for Bowman Gray. It's I know we just ended racing, and we all, I think, need a mental break from it for a few weeks, but yeah, I am looking forward to Bowman Gray again in 26. Bowman was so fun this year to clash, and I know it's going to be fun again. And but yeah, we got some great stuff cooking, guys. So stay tuned. Some great stuff. I mean, seriously, some cool stuff working for y'all. And I look forward to bringing it.
Yeah, well said, bud. And everybody else, thank you so much, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all have a great one.